I'm really tired of seeing them complain about the lack of pay because they're doing themselves a disservice by just complaining.
This is Golden State Warriors star Draymond Green.
You know,
Right,
and
they're not just complaining.
huh?
They're not just complaining, really.
But they are, because they're not laying out steps that they can take to change that.
Laying blame on outspoken female athletes, voicing their displeasure with the inequalities between men and women in sports.
It's coming off as a complaint because the people that can change it, they're just going to continue to say, well, the revenue isn't there. The revenue isn't there. So if you don't bring in the revenue, we can't up your pay.
I think what I'm feeling is a lot of miseducation and ignorance. And I'm always careful about using the word ignorance because I think we've grown up to believe that it has a negative connotation when it really doesn't.
This is Nneka Ogwumike, a WNBA champion, MVP, and Players Association president.
I do think that a lot of that education and dispelling of the ignorance that we experience just on an individual level, it can really be kind of dissolved by us having conversations. So with that, I'm very, 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 very tired of people attacking each other, especially on social media.
Being a true pro in the face of an inadequate and lame reasoning from an NBA champion.
I do appreciate Draymond coming out and using his platform to talk about it. I would like to take it a step further and say, hey, let's continue the discussions, even if they're offline.
Ogwumike left it open with Draymond and wisely said, let's talk in private so we can team up on a serious issue. As Yahoo Sports wrote, players and fans took issue with parts of Green's comments, mainly that he was blaming the players themselves for not doing more.
Draymond, have you done your research? Have you asked us questions? Don't you think we've tried?
Five-time WNBA All-Star Angel McCoughtry put it plain and simple. Whenever a select group of people, gender, race, ethnicity, religion, is subjected to inequality, pointing it out to those with the power to generate change tends to be perceived as complaining, wrote NBC Sports.
I've created a TV show about these kind of issues. It's a dramatic comedy. It's called Fair Game. I've gone to Spring Hill Entertainment. I've gone to Sony where Steph Curry people are. We got turned down. Oh, we don't want a show about WNBA. We're trying to get our story out. So Draymond, do your research before you tell us we need to do this and we need to do that.
This was in response to a thread Draymond put out asking, where are the stories? Why aren't we seeing them? Generate interest through building the platform up. Build the interest and transform women's basketball were basically his sentiments. There were two huge problems with this. Number one, it fails to recognize the women in the league and around the league who are already doing the work. Secondly, it blames the women being oppressed for being oppressed, instead of challenging the powers that be who have the capital to change the situation. Co-founder of Reddit and hubby to the GOAT Serena Williams, Alexis Ohanian, tweeted out a must-see thread with the top reading, women athletes are more compelling and engaging online. Who creates/consumes more social media? Women. Who dominates consumer spending? Women. Who have had all the institutional power? Men. Supporting women athletes is already quasi-religious. Watch the next decade. His comments were above a tweet citing an Axios article that shows if athletes have full control of their NIL rights, the top women's basketball players in this year's Elite Eight would have greater earning power than the men, and also, in another bullet point, their reach on social media.
A lot of these platforms, you know, you just see the stories about the guys. We hear their stories all the time. Who knows what we're going through? Who knows, how do you raise a child and play the WNBA? The child is coming to practice. The child is going overseas. These stories haven't been told. So we're at a point now where we want to get it out. And my TV show that I've created, I'm not going to stop talking networks until somebody picks it up.